All right, let's get the show moving. If you can hear me, press 1. All right, so let's talk about something. Let's talk about chasing, right? Let's talk about chasing happiness and fulfillment. Now, the more you chase happiness, the further it kind of runs away from you. If you ever told yourself that, hey, I'll finally be happy once I get that promotion, or I'll be happy once I get into this relationship, or once I get her, or I'll be happy once I have X amount of dollars in my bank account, whatever it may be. And let's say you got it. That happiness fades away just as quickly. And that's because happiness is not an event, it is an art. And once you understand that, everything about your life is going to change. And if you're new here, my name is Mitchell. I'm a relationship coach. In today's live video, I'll be talking about happiness and fulfillment is an art, not an event. And I would like to start off with a quote that Coach Corey Wayne talked about. Okay, so it goes, success is a moving target for most people. They believe that they will finally be happy when they achieve their grandest goals and dreams, and their life is the way they want it to be. However, achieving your goal is only a temporary moment in time that will quickly pass. Much like winning a championship in a sport, the juice of life is to be found in the process and journey of achieving your grandest goals and dreams. By looking for reasons to be grateful and happy for where you are and the experience and the memories you create along the way. Happiness and fulfillment is an art, not an event. Achieving goals is exciting, but achieving without happiness and fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Failure to enjoy and appreciate the gifts of life is not success at all. If you can't find a way to enjoy the process of living and goal attainment, you will never be happy long term for any consistent period of time. The best way to live is to always remind yourself to look for reasons to be grateful. What was I? Sorry. To be grateful and happy in life, because it's not going to last forever. Whatever you focus on will expand. Coach Corey Wayne. And so I'd like to start out with this first topic, which happiness starts with you, not her. And so for the guys that's watching over here, what's up, trollers? What's up? Okay, so happiness starts with you. Most men fall into the trap of believing that once they find the right woman, everything will finally click. But the truth is, if you haven't already found happiness within yourself, she can't give you that at all. Now, you can't give what you don't have. And at best, she'll be a distraction from what you're already feeling, the emptiness that you already feel inside. And eventually, if your happiness is dependent on her to make you happy, you'll lean on her so much that you eventually push her away, because the way you will be acting, how you respond, it's going to come from a place of neediness and desperation, and that is not attractive at all. And so, talking about a healthy relationship, on the other hand, isn't about someone filling in your gaps. It's about two complete people choosing to build a life together. It's about sharing each other's completeness, not to complete each other. And so, because the purpose of all relationship is that you're there to give, if a relationship that you're currently in right now is causing you a lot of emotional pain, causing you a lot of friction, and it's constantly giving you a lot of drama, you're not in a healthy relationship. And for what it is, you're more than likely you're settling in a relationship because it could be for many reasons. You don't think you could do better. You already invested so much time, the sunk cost theory. And so because of that, for whatever reasons it is, you know your own reasons as to why you're staying in there. And now too many men expect women to complete them, which is completely wrong. And so, but if you aren't already fulfilled, no relationship that you're going into will fix that. What's up, Crystal? I see you. Now, a relationship should add value to your happiness, not to be the source of it. So the main question is she adding value to your relationship, or is she draining you from your peace? Second topic, which is gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation of fulfillment. Gratitude isn't a cliche word that a lot of self-help people usually, they toss around. It's more of a feeling. It's a type of energy that separates the men who are content within themselves from the needy men. What's up, Amanda? Now, when you can wake up and you just appreciate who you are, and not a lot of people can do that. When you could just appreciate who you are, what you've built, and the little things that you already have in your life, that confidence will start carrying over into other areas of your life. Now, women notice that instantly. A man who doesn't need constant validation, he doesn't need constant reassurance, who isn't always looking for what's missing. What are we talking about? I'm talking about happiness and fulfillment. It's an art, not an event. So this is what's going to be attractive to her. Okay. Gratitude makes you enough before anybody else comes into the picture or enters the picture. When you practice gratitude for who you are and what you already have, you stop needing that constant validation. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Now, women are drawn to men who knows who they are. That radiates contentment, not desperation. A good way to practice gratitude, and this is something that I like to do too, as well as when I wake up every morning, I like to be grateful for what I already have every morning. And, it could be something as simple as, wow, like I get to wake up today and I get to move. Everything's fine. I feel great. Now, everything that you're doing leading up to that night and to that morning of you waking up, those are things that you have to prepare. But we usually take that for granted. And you never know what happens. One day you're fine, and the next day when you wake up, you're like, you can't feel your right cheek. Things could happen. You don't know that. So what I'm saying is just practice being grateful for what you already have in your life while still striving for more in your life. This will help you put yourself into a better mindset where the glass is half full rather than the glass feels half empty in your life. Press 1 if you're here so that I know who's here. Okay, so let's talk about relationships, okay? Relationships reflect your inner state. So it's there to amplify who you already are. In other words, the same thing goes for money and everything else that you have in your life. So it's whatever you're feeling inside. Now, your relationship is like a mirror. If you're unhappy and if you're insecure and you're a bitter person, that will bleed into other areas of your life, and that will bleed into how you will treat yourself, how you treat your partner, and people around you. And so I'll be careful being around people that's always finding reasons to be upset. And so what ends up happening is you start attracting partners who match that type of chaos that you already have. And that's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Now, but when you are fulfilled and you're a grounded person, you attract women who bring you peace, playfulness, and more respect. Why? Because you don't take your life too seriously. You enjoy yourself. You're at peace within yourself. And whatever you worked on, you're not going to try to give that away to somebody to enter your life just to disrupt that. You're going to be like, oh no, you're going to stop wherever you're doing. I'm not going to be a part of that. So you have what your boundaries are. There's certain things that you're not willing to tolerate. And so being a grounded and fulfilled man, knowing what you have, that's why I always talk about men and why you should always focus on having a sense of purpose in life. That is where we could grow. And when we start to grow, we thrive, especially if it's a positive growth. And so the dynamic of your relationship from then, when you're fulfilled and you're a grounded masculine man, it shifts completely. so positively. And so, with this quote that I love so much is the quality of your life or your relationship will rarely rise above the quality of your inner world. So, whatever you're already feeling, it would rarely rise above where you already are. So if you're finding yourself always constantly bitter and upset and insecure and jealous, if you get into a relationship, what do you think that's going to happen to you when you are in a relationship? And so if you're empty, you attract drama and a lot of codependence. Think about how you really want to spend your life. I mean, everybody talk about you only live once. How do you really want to live? Excuse me. And so for the men here, if you're watching, if you're grounded and you're fulfilled, you will naturally attract a much healthier and more feminine type of energy into your life. Now, but all that said, this is a type of life that does not come being spoon fed. This is a life that you have to earn yourself. So you have to figure out what are some of the things that wakes you up every morning, some of the things that keeps you moving forward. What is it? Now, everybody always talks about, going out and taking care of yourself, waking up every morning, writing a diary, writing in your journal. So you have to do what works for you. And what I found that has worked for me the most is staying disciplined, being disciplined, going to the gym. And then I look at other areas of my life, what I could change about that. So it's very action based. And so going to the gym, staying active, keeping my mental health grounded as well, eating good food. So that helps. And then I have to look around the people around me, my environment. Are people causing me more headache? So it could be your environment as being at a job that you dislike very much. I love my job. I love the people I work with. And so they make it 10 times better. And if and then while still being able to grow, because we are at our best state when we're at our happiest state. And when we're most centered when we're at our relaxed state. And so if I'm always constantly being pressured and agitated and people annoying me, how do you think I'm going to react going about my day? So I do my best to eliminate most of those people out of my life. And so that's why I was like, look, if I want to be grounded and I want to be fulfilled and I want to naturally attract a healthier, more feminine type of woman in my life, this is a type of work that I need to do for myself to remove all the bad stuff away from my life. And that is how I could start operating at a much more optimal pace. Now, like I said, it's a lifestyle that requires a lot of inner work. But before that work even starts, you have to start eliminating a lot of other people, a lot of negativity in your life. Now, like I said, when you're looking through the perspective of action and doing as a man, you will become better at solving problems. You're going to be more confident at solving problems. And what I've noticed is, especially when I was growing up, I would always ask a lot of questions and be like, oh, is this right? Am I doing this? And it's not really so much of the validation. Well, it is, if I think about it. But it's more so of I was really, really uncertain with the things that I'm doing. So that's why I needed that certain validation from other people that knows a little bit more. But they don't know as much as I do. I just depended on their opinions so that I know I'm doing something correctly or not. They're not professionals, so I'm just asking. And so by doing so, I do it more. And when I failed, whenever I fail, I always tell myself I get another chance to make it right. That's what it is. And so in my personal experience now, living life through my core values, doing what I want to do, always finding some times to do the things that makes me excited about the next day. And some of it is dancing. I enjoy dancing a lot. So whenever I get a chance to go to the gym, if there's a big piece of mirror in a studio, I practice my dance. And then I just enjoy doing it. And then it's challenging to me. And then if I get to progress and finish that dance, my next step is, well, how do I make it cleaner? How do I make it look better? And then I get to move on to a next choreography or routine. And so for me, like, those are the things that makes me excited about going to the gym. And now on top of that, I know there's certain things I need to do in order to stay healthy and strong. So eating right, resting, etc. And so doing the things that I want to do that gets me excited about the next day. And then, like I said before, having a job, being able to choose the type of people I want to work with, you don't know how big of a blessing that is. My life has gotten exponentially better because I started eliminating a lot of people. And what in the beginning, it felt empty. In the beginning, it felt empty. And the reason why it felt empty was because I didn't really know if this was the right path. I was like, it's kind of lonely. I'm doing this alone because everybody, or most of the people that I was around before, I thought were like my good friends, even some family members too as well. And I was like, wow, like, to change that, like, that's a big, imagine closing your eyes and be like, no, I don't want to talk to you anymore because I think you are bad for me based off my own experience. And then just making that judgment call and then be like, okay, now that I got you away, I have this road ahead of me. And now I hope everything goes well. And when I didn't have that backing of other people doing it before, like I had some strangers that did it online, but I don't know them. And so I was curious and I was like, well, it's pretty lonely. It's a lonely road, but then you learn to be at peace within yourself and you get to listen to your own thoughts. And not a lot of people like to do that. I mean, think about the things that we have. Look at your phone that you're using right now. Maybe you're watching this on a computer or on your phone or your tablet or whatever it is. We constantly in a place where we need distractions and we don't spend enough time within ourselves. So, I challenge you guys, take an audit, come home one day, or maybe even do it after this live, after this video that you're watching, and turn off everything, all sounds, and just stare at a wall. What is your thoughts telling you? And that will give you a good audit as to what you constantly telling yourself, even if you don't hear your voice inside. So that's a pretty good audit. Now, back to this topic. So now that my life is exponentially better, it's so much better now. I'm more confident in doing the things I already do. Things that I wasn't very confident about, I'm kind of excited to do. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to do it. I'm excited. Why? Because I couldn't do it, but I'm pretty sure if I continue to do it, I will get better. Now, the old me, on the other hand, would be nervous, scared that I wouldn't do well. And so whatever you focus on expands. Remember that. And so if you're constantly thinking like, oh, I'm going to be a failure, I won't succeed, even if I tried, it's like, well, that's going to happen because that's what you truly believe. And so be careful what you consistently tell yourself. And so for my last topic is happiness. Happiness is an ongoing practice, not a one-time win. Happiness is a moment. Happiness is not a moment. It's a lifestyle. Now, many men like to think fulfillment comes in this one big achievement, like the perfect girl, the dream car, or like having a lot of money. It's like that's not where real happiness is. Real happiness doesn't come from a single event. It's daily practices of discipline, growth, and perspective. How you see things. What is your mindset? Because, and it's easy to fall into this trap also where whatever we see in the movies, it's always this one grand gesture. Or whenever you watch people like a sport and they do it so effortlessly and they win a championship, it's like, whoa, how did they do that? Well, it must be easy for them because they're just good at it. Well, how do you think they got good? How much time do you think they've been practicing behind closed doors when we're all kind of slacking? Like, they are putting in the effort. And so, just like the gym, you don't lift one time and expect to stay in shape. You don't eat one salad and be like, well, I lost weight. So you practice it every day. And when you do, your relationship become less pressure. And then also you will have better connections and more genuine connections. Why? Because you're more focused within your inner world. Okay? Remember, it will rarely rise above what your inner self-talk is. So the better you have a better inner self-talk, the better your relationship you will have. But then you got to be honest with yourself and be like, well, are you happy? Are you not happy? If you're not excited about certain things, well, why? What's causing you all this pain? What is causing you all this drama in your life? And well, what can you do about that drama so that you could get away from it? And so these are certain things that you can do. Maybe you're young and you're watching this, or maybe you're in your mid 20s or 30s, whatever it may be. It's like, if you're in an environment that you're unhappy about, you could find, let's just say you're like, well, I'm broke. I need to stay with my parents, but my parents they're not good for me. They're nothing but drama. Well, you could find a job. Even if it means making ends meet, you will find a way. You will pay for rent. You will find a place, a little studio, so that you could be at peace within yourself and you don't have to rely on them. And then your life could start improving from there. Like, there are ways. Like I said, it's not one grand gesture, right? It's not one big single event. So like I said, you practice it every day. And so just like your relationship will get less pressure and you will focus on having a better and genuine connection, and just like your body too as well, if you stop training it, it starts to get weak. And if you stop feeding your mind and your spirit, you start to feel lost. And so it's so important to continue to do this. And happiness fades the moment you stop maintaining it. But like I said, it's not a single event. You don't arrive at happiness. It's more of an art. You're not going to be excited about things all the time. And that's why discipline is the type of effort that you have to be comfortable with. And so when you're comfortable with being disciplined, you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to wake up today. I'm a little bit tired. I'd much rather kind of lay in bed. But nah, I'm just being lazy right now. I need to get my ass up. And that's what it takes sometimes. That's all it takes. And sometimes you're like for me today, I woke up this morning, I got up, I got ready, and I was like, yeah, my body feels kind of weak. I don't know. Maybe I'm coming down with something. I'm not sure. Just to be safe, I'm just going to stay back a little bit. Why push myself all the time? I do go to the gym pretty consistently. So I was like, yeah, another day isn't going to hurt me. Although I'd miss it. I do miss it. I feel kind of like, ugh. I noticed that I drink a lot more water when I'm at the gym, but that's a me thing, right? So anyways, happiness fades the moment you stop maintaining it. Now, it's not something that you achieve. It's something that you cultivate. And as men, we thrive when we progress in life positively. Now, fulfillment is built in small, consistent actions that you take every single day. Showing up for yourself, staying disciplined, doing what you said you would do. Your words, right? Doing what you say you would do. And choosing gratitude even when life is not perfect. Fulfillment in life and love isn't about, like I said, that one big moment. It's daily habits. It's your mindset. It's your growth. And when you see happiness as an art to practice, their relationship, your relationship will become much more effortless, and you become less needy and more inspiring to other people. And if you did find this video content of value, hit the like button, share to your friend, and subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. And if you're new here, my name is Mitchell, and I'll catch you guys on the next live. I usually do it on every Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll catch you guys on the next live. All right, peace.